Mike Tomlin has spoken and did, in fact, confirm that Aaron Rodgers has a fracture in his left wrist, and it doesn't require surgery, and did, in fact, confirm that Aaron Rodgers wants to play this week in Chicago, and he is inclined to let him do that. But he needs to see Rodgers be able to protect himself and have a pain threshold tolerance to allow him to play, because, as he said, he's got a bunch of a healthy collective that needs to win a football game. But I think if anybody understands that Aaron Rodgers wants to go into Soldier Field one last time and relive the good old days on behalf of his current team, which is still a first-place team entering Week 12, that's the guy. You know, Aaron Rodgers wants to say, I still own you one more time.
One last tour.
One last time, to use, I guess, the Hamilton phrase. And we will see how this plays out. And I get it. Although, Chris, in the Overreaction Monday pod, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, not this past week.
You're like, they should sit Rodgers after they lost to the Chargers. You're like, they should sit Rodgers and see what Mason Rudolph's got.
Yeah, Rodgers looked completely washed. But.
And I said that that's absurd. He's still the Rodgers neck up in a way that nobody else is. And on top of it, all the eggs are in the Rodgers basket. Trust me, as somebody who, called a Rodgers Jets game and has been around that Jets organization in terms of, paying attention to it for decades. When you put your eggs in the Rodgers basket, that's where they stay. That's where they stay. And it's not just him. It's anybody that you would bring in at the back end of a career. And, I was just thinking, too, that, and again, Jerry Dulock's joining us. I don't know why I thought about this, but many times when I pop awake at 3 in the morning, I start thinking about things I shouldn't, just so I could go right back to sleep. It's been a long time since the Steelers had a quarterback that walked into the game better than yours. And if yours was an elite quarterback, they had a quarterback that was just as elite. And you better be on your P's and Q's, because they had a quarterback of an offense that could light you up. And there were times when the un-Steeler-like thing was Big Ben throwing it 45 times a game. Mm-hmm. And a guy who was just, hey, kids, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's the truth. When you're seeing Josh Allen run over people and being some big, huge dude that's tough to bring down, Big Ben was sort of like the Darnell Washington of quarterbacks. You know what I mean? Not 300 pounds. But he was a guy for whom the play began once he was hit. Most quarterbacks, the play is over once you're hit. The play began for Ben half the time once he was actually hit. And so it used to be the outlier. This is not Steelers football, throwing it 40 times in a game. Right now, the outlier of Steelers football is doing what they're doing with Rodgers, doing what they did with Russ, doing what they've done, to trade people. And that's why they're not going to go to anything but Rodgers if he's healthy, and right now he's not. And it's just interesting, like, if you take a look at the Steelers' schedule and you're looking at home for Buffalo, like, let's just put it this way. If he had gotten his wrist broken or fractured, week 14 at Baltimore, and they win the game. Let's say they win the game, just like they did this week, right? And they've got a Monday nighter against Miami. Would there be an issue of starting him? Or just let's rest him up?
Yeah, it seems like an easy sit.
But the fact that this game's at Chicago?
That's one that Aaron's obviously had circled all season.
If you look at this schedule, you would have think, and given Rodgers a pen and say, schedule of 5, you definitely want to start. At Jets, right? Okay.
Yeah. Minnesota, Green Bay.
Versus Green Bay.
Chicago.
No, I mean, but I think, again, Minnesota, Green Bay, correct. At the Jets, I think he would have circled at Baltimore because he wants to be in this. He knows that he's in this mix, right? He might have circled Buffalo as well,
maybe.
But again, like neither here nor there, he's been there, done that with Minnesota. Honestly, I think I looked it up. Like he's punked Minnesota more than maybe more than Detroit actually. And he punked them all in all that time. He might have circled Baltimore, Buffalo. He definitely would have circled at Chicago. There's no doubt. If you gave him a pen and say the 5 games you want to start this year.
It was probably the first one he checked the schedule for to see, when it was.
Where is Chicago?
Yeah.
And there's a reason why Lovie Smith stepped to the podium when he became Bears coach and say, we're going to beat the Packers. And there's a reason why Ben Johnson, who doesn't strike me as, like he's going to show up at Second City anytime soon for an open mic, made a joke at the Packers' expense when he took the Bears job. So, again, I'm just wondering if a lot of this has to do with Tomlin. He gets it. He gets it. Rodgers wants to be in Chicago, and if I'm a coach, I want to use that to my advantage as well. Why wouldn't I? All right, Rodgers, we need to win this game. What do you think? They're the ones who are taking balls away and winning games at the last second. That's their recipe for winning. How about we go up so far in front and we don't give them the ball? That's the way we win this game. Because normally what they used to do back in the days, remember that Steelers-Bears game where it was in the snow and they're rolling Jerome Bettis downhill at Urlacher, and it was just yeah, man, let us swap some friggin' paint today. I don't know if that's what this is going to happen on Sunday. We're still going 5 wide, and we're going to try and beat you. But, again, I understand why Tomlin would want to have Rodgers in this game and understands.
That was 2005.
Remember that? I remember that one, man. Some NFL Films footage of that one. Big time. Just to give you the exact quote from Tomlin, I know he's working his tail off to be a component of this week. He and I talked yesterday. He expressed that directly. I'm of the mindset of supporting that, while at the same time I've got a healthy collective of guys as a team and as a unit to ready. Oh, baby. Week 12 on the line. 2 first-place teams, Steelers and Bears.
I don't.
You put him playing at what percent?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I also don't know. I mean, if I'm him, I'm just, I'm popping the Advil,
Yeah, put a little, soft.
A little somber on it.
Put a little cast on there. Let's rock.
Yeah, let's go. A little soft cast on it.
Come on.
That's it. I think he plays. Man, I just think he'd rather saw that thing off than not play this game. How does that sound? Like pull a Ronnie Lott. Forget just the tip of a finger. How's the whole hand treating you, Doc? Moon River?
Moon River.
Use the whole fist?
A little flash.
That's the way I feel about it. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.